There are princesses from fairy tales, like ephemeral visions, and there are those from life, like living embodiments of dreams. The former obediently follow a predetermined script, like puppets of fate. The latter write their own, often defying the expectations of an entire kingdom, transforming any street into a runway, as if a personal stage, and every appearance into a quiet but confident statement, like an invisible crown. The name of one such princess is Stephanie of Monaco, like a rare flower, a name in which one hears not so much the rustle of palace curtains, like echoes of the past, but rather the rhythm of life itself, like the pulse of freedom. She, the daughter of the legendary Grace Kelly, an heiress to almost unearthly grace, as if a divine gift, chose a path of earthly, tangible freedom, like the flight of a bird. And her dialogue with fashion became one of the most honest and inspiring stories about how to remain true to oneself when the whole world expects something different from you, as if under the pressure of expectations. What then is her secret? Like an unsolved mystery. And what lessons from her timeless style, like an eternal beacon, can we try on for ourselves, not like someone else's dress, as if an imposed role, but as a new degree of inner freedom, like newfound wings? Stephanie's greatest gift was her ability to speak the language of fashion without pretension, as if speaking the language of the heart. While her mother was the embodiment of refined, almost cinematic glamour, like a living movie star, Stephanie seemingly brought fashion down from its pedestal to earth, as if bringing it back to life. She showed that true elegance can reside not only in silk and crinolines, like museum exhibits, but also in a crisp white shirt, seemingly borrowed from a man's wardrobe, as if a symbol of freedom. Her famous wide-shouldered blazers were not just a tribute to the fashion of the 80s. It was a gesture, almost political, like a silent statement. It was the right to occupy more space, to feel on her shoulders not the burden of protocol, but the armor of confidence, like an invisible shield. She proved that femininity is not about ruffles and bows like childish decorations, but about posture and gaze. It is an inner core, like an unyielding oak that needs no external adornments, and her love for denim. A princess in jeans, for many, this sounded like a defiance, like a bolt from the blue. But for her, denim was the language of truth, like an honest conversation. A fabric that doesn't lie, that lives with you, taking the shape of your body and your day, like a second skin, in combination with a simple tank top, a leather jacket, and aviator glasses. This was not just a look, like a fashion whim. It was a stance. I live in the real world, like a strong declaration. Stephanie's style is a hymn to the less is more philosophy, like an ode to minimalism. She intuitively understood that an overloaded look screams, like a desperate cry, while a concise one speaks, like a wise whisper. And it speaks of the confidence of a woman who has nothing to prove, like an unshakable rock. Think about it. A monochrome outfit, where the only accent is a skillfully chosen belt, like a subtle stroke of a master, a perfectly tailored blazer worn over a simple turtleneck. In these combinations, there is no complexity, but there is class, like noble lineage. There is an understanding that the quality of one item is more valuable than the quantity of 10, like a precious gem is worth more than mountains of sand. If you want to invite her energy into your wardrobe, like a fresh wind, start not with purchases, but with an audit, with a question to each item. Do you bring me joy and a sense of composure? And of course, her hair. A short haircut for a woman is always a little more than just a hairstyle, like a manifesto of freedom. It's a statement that she has nothing to hide, like an open book. It's an open gaze, emphasized cheekbones, freedom of movement, like unrestricted flight. Short hair doesn't require styling, but rather a good mood, like sunlight. They don't distract from the face. On the contrary, they draw attention to it. to the smile, to the sparkle in the eyes, as if to a living painting. This encapsulates Stephanie, an easy solution with deep meaning, like a wise parable. What makes an image truly vibrant and timeless? The energy behind it, like an invisible engine. Stephanie was never a fragile porcelain figurine, like a frozen doll. Her life is movement, swimming, skiing, traveling, like an endless dance. And this physical engagement with life is the main elixir of youth, like a magic potion. Radiant skin isn't always the result of an expensive cream. Often, it's an echo of brisk walking in the fresh air, like the breath of nature. Her approach to beauty was the same, honest and natural, like spring water. Minimal makeup, well cared for, moisturized skin, like a clean canvas. She seemed to tell the world, here I am, without a mask, like an open book. This is the best reminder that true radiance comes from within, like an inner light. It is born from peace with oneself, from an active life, and from the pleasure of being, not seeming like a blossoming bud. So, what is the main lesson of the Rebel Princess? Perhaps it is that style is not about clothes, like an external facade. It's about attitude, like an inner compass. It's about that very invisible crown a woman puts on herself when leaving the house, as if a symbol of her dignity. It doesn't matter what she's wearing, a strict suit or her favorite jeans, like different facets of one personality. What matters is how she carries it, as if it's her very essence. Stephanie's style is permission to be oneself, like a liberation from shackles, brave, free, sometimes contradictory, but always authentic, like a pure spring. And perhaps her main lesson is not about what to wear, but about how to live in one's clothes, as if in harmony with oneself, with dignity, ease, and quiet confidence in her own right to any choice, like an innate knowledge. After all, true style is the courage to be yourself, like an unshakable fortress, and this courage has no age, like eternal youth.